Hey fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're here in Milan, Italy, outside the Duomo, and today we're going to talk about some of the scams you might see when you're here in Milan. Because I'm not going to lie to you, Milan is kind of infamous for some of the tourist scams that are here, and you really need to be prepared for them, because I bet you probably see one or two of these while you're here, and if you have, put in the comments section below to see how many actually did take place on your trip to Milan. And I think the first one I want to talk about, the one that probably will make you the most uncomfortable, is if you have people that come up and try to tie a bracelet onto you, or they're going to tie a bracelet onto your kid, or they're trying to give you a flower, they're trying to give you something. And the idea is like, oh no, it's free, it's a free love bracelet, it's a peace bracelet, it's a flower for change or whatever. And then they're like, oh, but now I want money. And then they get very aggressive with it. This actually happened to some of my students when we were by the castle, and I actually had to yell for the police to get the people off of them because they got quite confrontational because they put the bracelet on and my student couldn't get it off. So if anybody's trying to give you something like for free, it's never for free. There's always a scam involved, okay? So just be aware of that one, okay? Just ignore them or walk away. Just say no and do not let them do that, okay? Because they will target your kids as well, which makes it a little bit scary sometimes. So do be aware of that. The thing is they get a little aggressive when it comes to those tying those things on you. But another thing that's a little concerning is sometimes you have very aggressive street sellers that are trying to sell you CDs or toys or games or Gucci bags or whatever. Just walk by them and just ignore them and it'll be okay. I mean, that's my best advice for you. And also, don't think those are really Gucci bags. I'm just saying, because sometimes people think they really are and they really aren't. Now, another thing that's really important, wherever you are in Milan, whether you're here at the Duomo or you're over walking through the Galleria or wherever, or you're just going on the metro, you need to be really vigilant when it comes to pickpockets at any of these main sites, because they're out there looking for people that are on their phone or people that are taking their pictures, or, you know, my buddy back here is taking all these pictures and he's leaving his bag on the ground. You need to be aware of your stuff all the time. Have your stuff, your wallet in your front pocket, use your money belt, because there are a high number of pickpockets here in Milan. So do be careful, especially at main sites like the Duomo or the Galleria. And that kind of goes into some of the typical kind of tourist scams you'll see when you are here. Like I said, there's the pickpocketing, but also, you know, the bird poop scam or the mustard scam where they bump you and spill something on you scam. That does here quite often. A little granite, the like slush puppy kind of stuff might spill on you. Like, oh, let me help clean that off. And they'll clean it off while you put your bag down. And of course, they're dressed immaculately because it's Italy. And next thing you know, your bag is gone and that helpful tourist is gone. That's why you do need to be careful with the overly helpful tourists here when it comes to those kind of oops, bump moments. But also, it's really important that you pay attention if you're at the train station, if someone's trying to help you get your tickets from the little train kiosk, or someone's trying to help you put your bags up in the, in the train or up in the train. You need to be aware, because some of these people have games and scams where they're kind of entertaining you, they're looking after you, but their buddy is looking after your bag or your wallet, and by the time you realize it's gone, you're halfway down to Rome and they're enjoying your money somewhere here in Milan. Now, another thing that's important to realize is when you're here in Italy, a lot of the beggars that you'll see on the streets are actually part of a gang. They're actually not, you know, as bad off as they seem, because they actually make some decent money from all these tourists giving them money. So I would say if you see beggars around town, I mean, it's not up to me to tell you not to give, but I would say the city tells you not to give to them, because there are programs that help people get back on their feet here. So don't think those beggars, don't believe all their sob stories. And the thing is, it's not just like locals. You'll have internationals here. You'll have other people playing like poor tourists, like, woe is me, I lost my luggage, or my stuff got stolen, can you help me out? I mean, I've seen people that have been here multiple times with the same sob story, and I'm like, hey, you were trying to get me to give you money yesterday, and yet you still got robbed again? Now, the other thing you have to worry about when you come here to Milan is actually the taxis. Now, I'm not saying the taxis are bad. The taxis are fine here, but taxis here are extremely pricey. Like, if you want to come in from the airport with a taxi, you could be spending 100 euros easy. And when you're coming around, what I recommend is if you're going to get a taxi, ask them, how long should it take to get there? You know, check on your GPS, check on your Waze, your Google Maps, and see if it's relatively close in the relative direction, so you have a kind of idea of how long it's going to take, because sometimes they do take you for a ride, but, you know, traffic can be bad here, but it's good to have at least a rough idea when you're talking to the taxi drivers. Now, Milan is not as probably popular for tourists as a place like Florence or Rome with the history and the art and all these things, but what it's popular for and what's really good for is partying, shopping, and going out to eat, all right? And because of that, there's people that know, that are maybe a little nefarious, that know that there's people here coming to have a good time, and they're going to use that to their advantage. So whenever whenever you go out at night, always keep an eye on your drink, especially if you're going clubbing. If someone asks you to buy a drink for them, make sure you see the price of the drink you're ordering, because sometimes you say, oh, I want a birra alla spina, like a fountain beer, right, or a draft beer. And you think it's going to be, 6-7 euros. Oh no, that's the 15 euro special beer. You're like, what? And there's little scammy things like that that do happen, so do pay attention. And it's guys and ladies that do these tricks on people, so do be aware of that when you're going out at night. I do have to say, anytime anyone's playing a game on the street, you are meant to lose. Like the 3-card shuffle or the 3 Monty shuffle, where it's basically, is the ball under this cup, or this cup? You're born to lose on that one. That's everywhere around the world. And when I was coming from the Central Station down here at the Duomo, I did see a guy playing that. I'm like, dude, you're going to lose. And shocking, he lost. So stay away from the card games, okay, when you are here. And then I think one thing is kind of an important one to note in terms of not necessarily a scam, but just something to be aware of, is if anyone tells you they can get you in to see Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, no problem, always take that with a grain of salt, because those things sell out. Those tickets sell out months and months and months in advance. And sometimes there might be 1 or 2 tickets available. You might be able to sneak in. I mean, it does happen, but a lot of times it doesn't. So if someone's making these promises for you that, oh yeah, I can totally get you in, and maybe not, because there really is only a 15-minute window and you don't get any more than that. So it's very much a timed special thing. So just be aware of that when you are here, all right? So I hope these help you know some of the scams to look out for when you're here in Milan. What are some scams that you saw here in Milan? Let us know in the comment section below so other tourists can be better helped out and better prepared for when they come here, because it's a cool city to visit with museums and the Duomo and all kinds of great stuff. If you're here at Fashion Week, it's beautiful to see, but it's good to know some of these things. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in Milan.